Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello. It is 8:30 Eastern Time. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Good to see your faces. Look at all these amazing people popping in here. Okay, turn your cameras on, guys. I tell you, it's all the time. Two reasons not to. If you're in the bathroom, please, no camera. If you're eating, it's okay, no camera. But nevertheless, love to see the cameras on if we can. It's where the energy's at. It's where the realness is at. And that's what this is about tonight. My name's Brandon Cunningham. You are on a Zoom with what we call the TBC community, True Blue community. We are just a group of entrepreneurs that come from all walks of life that have one mission, guys, and it's to move families forward. And we've been doing it successfully for quite a while now. So if that sounds good to you, you're in a good place for the next couple minutes. And we've got a great lineup for you guys tonight. We do three things here. We share socially here, and I say socially in a group, what's working and what wins we're having as a group. Secondly, we're going to share specific stories, success stories from individuals. We're going to highlight some stories of product and business success that we're having in this group so we can learn there. And lastly, we do a little bit of mindset training, a little bit of business training on the backside, because I believe that there's a fine line between success and failure, and that always is a mental game. It's very rarely a physical game, especially in business, right? Especially this business. The people that succeed in this business aren't, physically stronger. They're mentally stronger. And that's what this is. This is what it's all about tonight. So welcome, guys. Thanks for being in here. I'll keep an eye on the chat much as I can if there's questions there. But let's start this off with some wins for the week. South Carolina's in the house. What's up? Louisiana. Hello, hello. Lots of Louisiana in here. It's awesome. So yeah, for the chat, love to share where you guys are from, especially if you're new to the group. So let's share some wins. Look, I see Liz Goring's hands up already. So let's go to Liz.
Hey everybody, it's good to be on here live. So I have a huge shout out, and I actually think she might be on tonight. Laura Kitts, she's a newer consultant. She has been a part of my customer pool for many years, and she's just an amazing human and massage therapist. But she's had four new customer enrollments already this month, so I'm super pumped for her and proud. She's just like sharing from her heart, and I just, totally well deserved, and just want to give that shout out.
Awesome. And you said her name's Lori?
Laura Kitts,
Laura.
Laura.
Laura. Hey, Laura, if you're here, congratulations. That's absolutely awesome. And Liz, thanks for sharing. That's really cool. So fun to get to do this with folks that start to see the vision and running with this. It's really awesome. So, Miss Iris Riley, let's go to you.
Yes, hello guys. So I want to celebrate my amazing mom. I talked about her briefly last week. Well, she met one of her previous coworkers in a store, and her coworker said, "You haven't changed. You look younger." Well, there you go. She opened up the door. We sent her a couple of videos. She signed up today with a kit, collagen, NRF2, and she got some for her husband. And so I'm so proud of my mom for sharing, and she's being rewarded. And also got to celebrate a couple of team members, Robin Smith, Jacqueline Gamble, and Linda Lee. We all got together and did the Build and Grow blueprint together. So great.
Good on you. Good on you. That's awesome, guys. Yeah, and I hope a lot of you guys were able to attend the Build and Grow Blueprint training we did this past Saturday. We do it the third Saturday of every month, unless corporate is hosting an event that we're going to be plugging into. We'll be doing it again the third Saturday of September. So thanks for mentioning that, Iris. I hope you guys were able to enjoy that. If you missed it, it is in boards. We do put the trainings in boards for people who missed it so they can go back and watch it. So, but your mom, how cool is that? That's so awesome. And to have, people you love on these products. You guys you do know it extends life, right? Y'all do know that, right? We've got the documents. It extends life. So just don't give it to mean people. We don't need more mean people. Don't tell no mean people about activation. Stop it. Jessica, it's all you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brandon. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped. This week, actually Thursday, which is really kind of cool. I get to go to my dentist, but not like for my teeth, to actually do a presentation. We're doing a lunch and learn. So for their lunchtime, I'm going to get to come in and have great conversations. So it'll be two-pronged approach, right? I'm going to talk about the practice utilizing it, but then I'm still going to have six people kind of captive that personally they may want to like look at it from their perspective as well. So it's going to be a two-pronged approach. I've spoken a little bit with Angel, and we kind of talked a little bit about how we can look at it from an activation of a practice, like how we activate a practice. And I really love those verbiage. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see. Who knows what happens? But just all the positive intentions Thursday at noon would be awesome. I appreciate
Awesome.
it.
We'll be cheering you on. So let's set the alarm for J-Lo. That's awesome though. But that's a huge win because you guys know when you start dealing with people in the medical field, it can be intimidating at times. I know J-Lo's not intimidated by anybody, but that's awesome. Please give us a follow-up report on how that goes. You guys absolutely gum disease is related to oxidative stress. You guys know I don't know if all the dentists do this out there, but a lot that I've gone to over the years, once a year they'll do like this oral inspection, right? And they're looking, and they can tell a lot about your health from your mouth. A lot of stories are told by your mouth.
Mhm.
And over and over and over again, I've heard just, um, oh,
Mm.
Nicole's in the dental field, so Nicole can validate. But
Yes, I
yeah.
can.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah, I'll be happy to. Absolutely. I've
Oh,
we've done
awesome. Yeah, thank you so much,
presentations
Nicole.
on stuff. So yes.
Awesome. I'll send you a message. See, teamwork. It's
There you
amazing.
go. There you go. Yeah. Awesome. So let's go to Miss Jenny Russick.
Yes, we just had a really fun team meeting, and we had as our guest John Marvin, Connie and John Marvin, who've written the whole series now of the book. Most of you know about what is it, the Build and Grow book, and many of us have used that. His primary story, in addition to praising Brandon and Brandon's leadership and how impressed he was with him, our own Brandon Cunningham. But his primary point in terms of this business is the third positive reason to be part of it, and that is community. And we talk about this a lot with our TBC, but to hear somebody really dwell on that in terms of what that's meant to him. And I do remember his dad from way back. So that was really a great meeting we had tonight.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. What we do here, guys, this 30 minutes that we set aside each week, um, we have seven core values in our team, and our first one is that we live our life with intention and purpose. And there's intention and purpose for this 30 minutes. And one of the a purpose of this Zoom each week is to create connection with our community. And it's a healthy way to build a business, guys. We are all here to move families forward, and we're going to do that three ways. We got to get people healthy. We got to get them some more time so they're not just working every day of their life to pay bills, and we got to get them some more money so that they're not just stressed about how they're going to live week to week or month to month. And so that's how we move people forward. But along the way, people's journey is a little different. Some people, their reaction to activation is faster than others. Some people take longer, so there's a different timeline there. And there's also a different timeline for how we make our money. Some people come out of the gates and they'll make $1,000 or $2,000 real quick. Sometimes it takes over a year or so for some people to get to $1,000 a month. And so that's why the community is so important, that we are here to support the journey, whether you're walking, crawling, running, sprinting, or on fire. Like that's what the community is all about. So thanks for sharing that, Jenny. Appreciate it. Let's get a last hand just because of time wise. Okay, so Robin, if you don't mind, because we haven't heard from Kim in a while. So I see Kim's hand up. Let's go to Kim.
All right. So the beginning of the month, I signed up somebody who's very athletic and he injured himself. And so he came on the presentation and I asked him a few questions before I did the presentation. So I was actually going to um, talk about P84, but since he told me he had an injury, I talked about liquid collagen instead, and he signed up with that kit. And when he got it, he asked me, how do I take it? And so I was telling him how to do it. And then the next day, he texts me back and he says, I don't know if this is placebo effect or what, but I have not done any workout for months because I've been injured. And I just tried your product and I worked out and I don't feel tired. I don't feel achy. I just feel good. And I said, I don't think it's a placebo effect. But the next day he texts me again and he goes, okay, I know this stuff is really working. It's really doing something because I really worked out super hard. And I just feel so good, And so his injury wasn't bothering him or anything. And so I told him, usually, and I don't know if this is the wrong thing to say, but I say usually if somebody's just going to sign up to try the product, I have them get on a few things. But if you want to sign up to do the business, because he said he wanted to do that, I recommend getting on the business pack. And he said, that's what I'm going to do. So we'll see if that happens. But I'm
That's
excited.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a big win. Thanks for sharing. And to illustrate my point, right? Some people feel things right away. I had an experience with a cycling coach, same thing, like right out of the gates. And it ended up being over $100,000 leg in my organization, a cycling coach. Yeah. So, in fact, there's people on this Zoom tonight right now that came from that organization. So yeah, you go Mike Weingartner, Jessica Perez. There's probably some others I'm not thinking about that came from that organization, from a cycling coach. So anyway, all right, guys, let's jump in. Thank you for sharing. Let's get into this first story or the story for the night. I met this lady a couple months ago, 6 weeks ago or so. Right away, I fell in love with her accent because I knew she lived not too far from where I was raised. She's from the South. Fell in love with her accent. Fell in love with her, like, yeah, let's just go do this attitude. Like, not much, like, she didn't have too many questions. And what I love about that is the most successful people I know in my life, they don't ask a lot of questions before they take action. They make the decision and then they just start figuring things out. And that's what Katrina reminds me of. And she's definitely that type person. But then as I got to kind of know her a little bit more, I got to know more of her story. And you're going to get to hear that tonight. So Miss Katrina's on here. Is it your last name pronounced Waits? Is that the right way to do it? Or correct me, Katrina?
That is correct. It is weights. Like
Okay.
I'm waiting for this business to take off.
See? See? All right. So you hear her accent, right? So tell everybody where you're from, Katrina.
I am originally from Mobile, Alabama, and I live in Wetumpka, which is outside of Montgomery now. So
Watunka.
down south.
Watunka. Okay. Well, we're really happy to have you on here with us. And so let's talk a little bit about your kind of health journey and what you think of activation. How many weeks have you been on the products now?
Probably knew you were going to ask me that, and I don't know. So
Okay.
I have already taken a month's supply. I know that
Okay.
because I'm on my second bottle
Okay.
of.
Okay.
So I'm taking the trio. So I'm taking NFR 1, 2, and NAD, and then
Yep.
I'm doing P84
Yep.
and Axio X,
Yep.
and
Okay. That stuff's legit. Just be
you just
careful with
jump
the.
all in. Hey, I'm raising twin girls. I have to have some energy.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm taking the fat buster. So
Okay.
those are the things that I'm taking, or fat burner. Those are the things that I'm taking right now.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and I'm
It,
loving
it'll
it.
it'll bust the fat, burn it, fat, bust it, burn it. It's gonna do it all.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
it's gonna do it all. So tell us a little bit. I know you've had some history with your own health journey. Let's talk about that just for a little bit. What are some of the things you've had to deal with, and what are your thoughts around activation and that approach?
The main thing I've had to deal with is probably 20 years ago, I developed Graves' disease, and I didn't even know what that was. So, if anybody has had any problems with Graves' disease, or it affects your like it affected my thyroid gland. So it is an autoimmune disorder, is what it is. But it affected my thyroid. So it kind of felt like like my hands were shaky. It felt like my insides were shaky, and I was just like I lost a ton of weight. I could not fill myself up. I was down to a size 2, which I don't think I've ever been in my entire life, other than that point. Um, and so a friend of mine said, go to the ENT. So that's who I went to. And he said, hold your hands out. And so when I did, my hands were super shaky. And he said, your thyroid is messed up. You have an overactive thyroid. So that began my journey. And they put me on some medicine and everything went fine. And then all of a sudden, they said, oh, you need to go to a blood doctor. Your labs are off, and we think you might have leukemia. So yes. So very scary. But come to find out, it was not leukemia. It was the medicine that he had me on for my thyroid disease.
Mm.
So they said, oh, we got to kill your thyroid. So they radioactive iodine activated my thyroid. And so now it's gone. Worst decision I ever made. So, and that's just for myself. I'm not giving medical advice at all, but that is the worst decision I ever made, was to let them kill my thyroid. So, fast forward to Miss Angel will tell you I've taken that little white pill ever since that day because I don't have a thyroid anymore. So, and it just creates a whole bunch of other medical issues. And one of the main things is just trying to get your thyroid regulated. So, they're regulating T3 and T4, and it's always moving up and down according to whatever stress level you're having at the moment. So, it's just a constant battle. I go every 6 months and have my labs
Mhm.
done. And then all of a sudden, probably, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, my doctor said, oh, your thyroid is way too high. We got to lower your medication. So then they lowered my thyroid medicine, and I gained 70 pounds.
Mm.
And I have not been able to get it off until this.
Awesome.
So, yes, so I have tried everything on the market, and nothing moves the weight. I'm not a big eater anyway. I'm not a big snacker, junker, any of that kind of stuff. I'm not a
Mhm.
big sugar person. So,
Mhm.
there was no reason behind the constant weight gain, or, keeping the weight on, other
Mhm.
than when you don't have a thyroid, it's just hard to get it off.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, since I started with LifeVantage and started on these products, I have lost to date 30 pounds.
Whoa.
30
Wow.
pounds.
Wow. Man,
And I
that's got to
haven't
feel amazing.
changed. Yes, it is amazing. So this is the first time that I have not had to just go through starvation to be able to lose weight.
Yeah.
So it has been, and I haven't, like I said, I haven't changed anything. I walk every morning. I get up and walk 2 miles a day. That I have not changed. I haven't added anything to that. So, and my life is stressful. Just a little backstory. I'm raising twin granddaughters
Yeah, I
and
want to
have
get to
been,
that in a second. I definitely
yeah,
want you to tell that story here in a second, but that's
yeah.
awesome. That's
It has
fantastic.
been a miracle. That's what I
That's
say.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So congratulations on that. And I'll tell you, it gets better. It's safe to say you've been on the products less than 3 months. So somewhere
Yes.
between 1 and 3. I know it's not 3, but
Yeah,
one
less
and
than
two
3 months.
months. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so it gets better. It gets better and better and better. It really does. Anybody that's been in this group that knows that's been on the product 6 months or more, your body starts to just heal in ways that it just wasn't healing before. So I'm really excited for you. Now,
Yes.
this group does need, because we're all about moving families forward, and I know you are a consultant with us, and the
Mhm.
income here is important to you that we're making, and the legacy is important to you. Can you share the story that's kind of your driven mission? Because I've been on your websites and I looked at your stuff, and it's an incredible mission you're on. Can you share what you're doing?
I really can share. So, 10 years ago, January, we lost our son in a motorcycle accident, and his fiance was 6 weeks pregnant with my now grandchildren. So it was just horrific, unexpected. Just driving home from work, it was just a horrible accident, and we really didn't know at the time whether his fiance would actually keep the pregnancy. She was only 6 weeks pregnant. So, but she did. And so we have two beautiful granddaughters that were born. And they are my whole entire world, as you can imagine. And then their mom, I actually went home from the hospital with them and she went back to work pretty quickly. So we've had them basically since birth. But their mom had a tragedy in her home when the girls were about 3 months old. And we took emergency custody of the girls. And we have had them ever since. And you can only imagine they are a huge, huge blessing to us. That's all we have left of our son. But they are also a handful. So they are 9 and they are in gymnastics and they are in softball and they are in cheer and the activity level that they have. And I just turned 60 this month. So, you know, I have to build something for them right along with our own family because our world changed in an instant. We were going to, my husband was retiring and we were moving to a lake, and now you put everything on hold because you're raising grandbabies that you didn't think you were going to be doing. But to our dream has come true now. So a year ago this month, we bought a lake house and we are living on the lake. So it just takes a little longer sometimes for God to fulfill your dreams as you want them to be, but we are getting there. And this company that Angel shared with me is going to be the next piece in finalizing that legacy because I am going to build this for my girls. When something happens to me, nobody's going to have to take care of them. They will be able to take care of themselves, and when I'm dead and gone, they will have Life Vantage to take care of them as well. So, and I will tell you, I'm gonna give you one little other sad note. Side note, my son's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday to Patrick. But also my husband just had shoulder surgery. Friday was a week ago.
Oh, wow.
I started him on the NFR2 and
Hmm.
our collagen product 2 weeks before he had surgery.
Hmm.
He is doing amazing.
Hmm.
They did a rotator cuff repair, a bicep tendon repair, and took off 2 bone spurs, and he's back to work today.
Whoa.
Today.
Whoa.
And he is not having very much pain. He's been off his pain medication since Wednesday. And I just believe that these products have something to do with that.
Yeah. Well, I can promise you, a lot of people here have been through medical procedures, and almost always the doctors are blown away by the recovery process. Almost every time. So,
Yeah. And so he hasn't seen his doctor yet, but he did see, he went and had stitches out and saw the nurse that was in the operating room with him. And she said, "You're doing amazing. I can't even believe it."
yeah, that's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing, and we're so
Yeah.
glad you're a part of this community, and we know you have a big mission. I know moving families forward is right in your wheelhouse. It's bullseye
Yes.
for you. And we're so glad that you're here, glad that you have found activation, glad you found this community. Thanks for sharing your story, your health story. Amazing. I mean, that kind of weight loss is just absolutely incredible in just a few months. So,
It has blown me away. I mean, like I said, nothing, Angel can attest, nothing has worked. Nothing. I have tried and tried and tried, and I'm not even really trying. I'm just doing what I was already doing, and my body is actually working.
yeah.
That's the point of it. So I appreciate y'all letting me share my story, and let's get busy. Oh, and by the way, I did 200 reach outs last week. So I took your challenge very seriously, and I will be working the 3 ways into that as well.
Awesome. Well, you can put me in those three-way chats. I'm happy to be a part of your success and your journey. All of us, you've got more friends here. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are willing to be in your chats with you.
Oh,
You've got a great mission. Those grandbabies are, family's everything. And,
yep.
it's a great example too of how unexpected things can happen so quick. Your world can be changed in a matter of an instant. And the saying is you need to build your well before you're thirsty.
That's right.
And so all of you here, that may not have anything radically happening in your family. We don't hope so, but we just don't know. And so just build it, build with urgency, guys. Build this paycheck with urgency. So thank you so much for being on, Katrina. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Yeah. So a couple things as we wrap up here tonight, guys, that it's important for you guys to know. First is that again, we do these build and grow blueprint trainings every month. So we just had one this past Saturday. Katrina kind of alluded to that a little bit. So the third Saturday of every month, put it on your calendar and just make a commitment to be a part of it. It is done virtually, so you can watch it at your convenience. It doesn't need to start at a specific time, but we are encouraging everyone that can to watch this in a group setting, whether it's on Zoom with some other people or in a home or a setting where there can be some more like community is important to us if you haven't gathered that. So this Zoom is great, right? We get to see, we get to hear. It's better than a phone call, better than text messages to be here on Zoom with all of you to see your faces. But even better is when you're in the same room with people. And so, I mean, all of you would like to, I bet all of you would like to be in the room with Katrina at one point where you can really hear her stories, learn from her, right, and connect. And so put that in your books, the third Saturday. Tomorrow night, tomorrow night, there's two events happening. Dr. Terry is doing an event at 7 p.m. Eastern. The details are in our Google Calendar, so you can find all the information you need there to go get on her Zoom event at 7. And then an hour later at 8 p.m., I will be doing an overview, a business overview that I call Own My Tomorrow. So if you know some people that are ready to move their family forward, ready to own their tomorrow, then you would want them to hear the presentation that I do tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Then Wednesday, of course, we've got Wellness Wednesday. Lots going on here. Just tie into this community. If you're a guest here, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. What you saw, obviously, it's real. This isn't scripted. If you don't think it's real, just come on back. And there, thank you, Angel, for putting that up. There's the two flyers right there with the IDs and everything. Come on back next week, and you'll see more stories, more wins for the week, some more success trainings that we're doing. And so, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate all of you that participated. We'll see you guys in just 1 week from tonight. Good night.